Record. So the recording has started. So this is a preview of the Great Plains uh, gravel race, gravel grinder. Welcome everybody. Looks like it's going to be a good day out there. And this is the course. Do we have anybody doing any other distance other than the 100? Okay. I didn't think we did. I went through the result or the sign up and I just saw Roger doing the 50 and he's not currently here. So I figured everybody else is doing the 100 and we could just go through the 100 course for this sharing moment, if that works for you, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. Going through the course, I've also pulled it up on my windsock. This is based on my expected finish around 5.5 hours. If you go a little bit longer, it will get a little bit hotter, but it just gives a good reference of where the wind is and how the weather heats up throughout the day. You can see at the beginning, it's around 77. We're going to end around 90 degrees. It's going to be hot. That's the biggest piece of this whole meeting is it's going to be very hot. Bring extra water, bring extra sodium, in my opinion.
And
Um,
not to butt in, but I think a tailwind start probably is going to make like kind of overexerting yourself, and I think kind of the like effort management maybe a little bit more of a big deal because it's going to feel like much easier at the beginning, and um, so I think that's kind of a factor too, like especially when it's kind of a double whammy, like super windy day, tailwind start plus the heat.
so it doesn't show the wind on here. Hold up, Beatrice.
I think when I checked earlier today, it was like coming out of the southwest at like 20 plus miles an hour, which is going to be kind of gnarly. So I think like right around like mile 50 is, I mean, I know we're probably jumping ahead a little bit, but like mile 50 is when it starts to come back east, like southeast. And so I think that's going to be kind of gnarly for all of us.
Everybody when that turn around, and there's a good number of straight sections, especially there's a big one. Like we're jumping way ahead, but almost 6 miles from 49 to 55, just straight headwind. That's going to hurt everybody, whether you're doing stuff or not. But to go back to the beginning, it is a net uphill for the first 8 miles. It's going to be tailwind and uphill. It's going to go very fast and it's going to be difficult to stay with any groups or to be with anybody. So monitoring your effort. If you don't expect to be at the front, um, be careful. Don't hurt yourself too much. Don't go too deep. If you are expecting to be at the front, be careful as well. Um, it's a long ways of 8 miles tailwind. Straight north, and then we start twisting into the side roads. I was doing some Google Earth. They do have a lot of this course on Google Earth. Seems like a lot of road, but it seems like a lot of sand out there. If Trevor has any notes from riding in the area, I know he's a local to Nebraska at least, for what the surface looks like.
It should be fun. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever done gravel worlds. It's kind of that pea gravel, so a lot of dirt roads too. Those will be they'll be interesting. I think we're supposed to get some rain on Tuesday, so they might get tore up.
Gravel roads. What's the difference in that in your vocabulary?
Say that again.
Dirt roads versus gravel roads. What's the difference in your vocabulary between those?
Yeah, so a dirt road is there's no gravel at all, so it's just dirt, and then gravel. I mean, they're I guess you could say sandy or whatever, but like the pea gravel is probably the size of peas, I guess. So, yeah, I mean it. You're not going to need to worry about like flatting or anything crazy.
Well, I thought because I thought it was sandy, so I thought I saw something about like some MMR roads.
Yeah, but they're just dirt. The ones that I've
Yep.
on for gravel worlds, it's just dirt.
Yep. So it's not
So,
going to be like oh, what's it called? Open range, where that's like sand. This is not that.
so the terrace
On
speeds will be
hills.
okay.
Sure.
Oh, you don't like my terrace speeds? Coming
No,
from
if you're
a,
not running 2.2s, what are you even doing? That's not even gravel at this point.
I heard they flat in the rain.
They do. Actually, I found out why I flatted. Apparently, synthetic uh, sealant is water soluble. So,
Oh,
like, when
dang.
the so when the water was on the road, it like worked its way into my tires, and it really only happens when there's like water standing on the road, which is what happened when we rolled into Medicine Lodge. So, anyways, I digress.
For anybody who doesn't know, Trevor flatted mile 60 into open range and lost the lead group. It was tragic.
It was tragic. And I was literally shocked because, of course, everybody's a diehard fan of the Contis.
The one group person in the group with the Contis, and he didn't make it. But it was a road race, so it was different.
Yeah. Yeah. I had ridden my bike through some mountain bike stuff around Lincoln, and there was a lot of thorns and stuff. So I had a lot of like micro punctures basically, and then it just they opened up in the rain. So
Get to get back
I
to the
digress.
course.
Yeah, run whatever tires you want. They'll be good.
We are going to, yeah, we're following clockwise. So we're going around this big clockwise loop, heading north and east first. You can see the little arrows on the screen. It's going to be a lot of tail and crosswind, but tail crosswind, heading out for the first. Welcome, Michael. For the first third of the race is all that up and over. It'll be very fast. You should be able to roll pretty quick through all those sections. And through those pieces, the first aid station we get into is, I put these together. So we reach an optional sag, which is going to have some pieces that we can stay at on mile 11. And then at mile 28, we reach the first mandatory sag. In the road book that they're releasing, in these mandatory sags, you have to stop, give them your name, and take a pipe cleaner. Kind of like open range, if anybody was there, where at open range at the far turnaround point, you had to go collect a golf tee. This is similar to make sure everybody's following the course and checking through the pieces. So work with your group, be courteous to people. These are not attacking zones, in my opinion. Other people have different opinions of that. But make sure to stop, give them your name, and take whatever they have from them at these mandatory spots. There's mile 28, 65. There's just two of them. They have littered the course with sag points, though. So as we get around, we get to mile 28. This is the first sag. That's a mandatory one. And then they've put another optional sag at mile 44 as we start to get around into the headwinds. So that's up here. It's at a Jet Stop convenience store. So it is at the convenience store parking lot. So if you want to run in and you have time, go and get ice, go and get some extra water, go and get some cold water, fill your bottle with their drink machine, the ice you can get from there, and it will help cool you down quite a bit. You can also go in there and buy popsicles, anything else for the heat. I don't know what point in time you will be there or what temperature it will be, but the whole day is going to be hot. It starts at 77 degrees. They will also have course supplied aid at that. So they will have their own water, their own gels, all that stuff that's complementary with the race in that parking lot, as well as you can go and buy stuff on your own. And then we start heading south further into that headwind. I don't know too much about the MMR roads. This whole ride GPS is just telling me that's all gravel. I don't know how much to trust on that or not in terms of road or gravel or MMR, because some of these maps are better, some of them are worse. But coming out of that jet stop, just know you're going to hit the hardest part of the day. It is really, I mentioned a different number earlier. It's really 12 miles of headwind with a couple pieces of crosswind going across. So it's just going to be long. It's going to be close to an hour for most people. because the winds are so strong just to get through there, and getting to that next aid stop, which is mile 55, on an MMR. They called that one out.
Well, and that section is notable because the like overall, I mean, the course doesn't look like it's too hilly, but like obviously there's kind of these rolling sections like in between there, and so I think like I mean I feel like the lead group inevitably is going to separate there.
Yeah, you get some of these big climbs. This is Kansas 3.5% for half a mile is a lot. Um, or Nebraska. Sorry. Yep, I agree, Michael.
Just by the heat. I mean, you know, you're going to be 2.5 hours in. Yeah, like I mean, I feel like you know, the old staple is at 2 hours, everybody's 2 to 3 hours into a race, like everybody's hurting. It's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to probably start to blow up there.
Into the headwind. We'll see how much shelter people can get in the headwind, with that. But I think just those climbs, you just hurt somebody, you get over the top, and you're not coming back, if you're not on the group that you need to be in. Those strong headwinds, and then you start heading back. So I guess mile 55. So this, they call it as an MMR road going across here. And there's going to be an aid station in here. They have no Google Street View of it. But yeah, it looks like a sandy MMR road. And that's 11 miles from the last checkpoint. So if you're running low on water, fill up as much as you can. If you're only going to bring 2 bottles, fill up every time there's water. If you're going to bring more than that, be careful.
I would strongly recommend that you start with more than just 2 bottles too. I'll probably start. Honestly, I'm considering throwing. I'm considering throwing a third bottle down my front and just having that like available to like I'll do 2 drink mixes probably on my bike and then have just like that third one just to, like dump water on myself. And then I always do a hydration pack just because I'd always rather have enough water, but like especially on Saturday.
And how big of hydration pack do you run, if you want to tell me?
2 liters.
2 liters? Okay. Yeah, I'm doing very similar then. I'm going to run 2 bottles in a 3 liter pack. So a similar amount of water.
Yeah, I feel like you want something just to, like manage the heat. And I don't know about you all, but like I mean, it's been so mild that I feel like this is going to be a pretty brutal wake up call for a lot of us. Like I haven't done a single race effort, like or any intervals, and like pretty much anything over 70 degrees. So this will be a little intense.
Do you put any salt or anything in your pack, or do you just run straight water in your pack?
Now I'll do the flow mix. I think has 350 milligrams of salt or like 400 milligrams of salt maybe. So I'll just stick with whatever's in flow.
Normal flow,
And
half high sodium flow. And the high sodium is, I think, 1,000 milligrams for 3 scoops of it. So it'll be less than that. But
I can't remember honestly. I got it right out here. But either way, I feel like and I mean you know, obviously to each their own. I'm not a super salty sweater, so I typically don't need a ton of salt. But I mean for those of you who are, yeah, I mean yeah, 390 for 2 scoops and um yeah, I generally do like 150 grams in each bottle for these. Make it extra sweet.
in each bottle. So your
Oh yeah, dude.
5 scoops, that's a lot. Okay.
Weigh it out.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So yeah, extra sodium. Everybody's in, that's the hard part about, I think, carbs. Eat as much as you can. That those large numbers is positive usually. Sodium is a bigger variety of person to person. Some people are salty sweaters, some people aren't. And but for a race this long and this hot, I think salt is recommended highly.
So I feel like I don't know as far as kind of the flow of this, but like towards the towards the end where it starts to get a little bit windy and a little bit more like crosswind section. I think like I said, I think that long straightaway at like mile 50, the group is probably going to start to separate a little bit. And I think it'll be a little bit more of like, that's kind of where it's going to be a race of attrition. But I think kind of going into that crosswind section, um, I think especially the fact that, the way the course goes clockwise, it's a benefit to have a south wind there because you can pinch to the right side of the road if you're trying to separate things. So I think it's gonna like the crosswind sections there, depending on who's left in the groups, like I think that's gonna be really, really decisive, depending on like which group you're in. And particularly for the lead group, like I think that's gonna be really intense through there.
These ones are going to be very hard, very full gas. And depending how many lines there are, it looks like there could be a couple lines on the road. It's not just double track where it's two wheels, and you're consistently guttered. But yeah, that
Well,
whole
it's kind of
crosswind.
interesting too because it's kind of like mainly downhill from mile 80 to 100. So I think it's going to be pretty fast too.
Yeah, through this aid station to keep skipping ahead. And that might be where we're at mile 90. This is the final aid station. This is the biggest hill on the climb. It doesn't quite look like that. There's some other big ones in there, but they do note this as what they call Iron Mountain. Um, at least the race directors called this one out after this aid station, and it's going to be crosswinds and just straight uphill. So it's going to hurt a lot for everybody who goes through it with just the attrition and how deep it is in the race. So note that's always coming, but there's always another hill. Nebraska, Kansas, Midwest. You cross this hill, there's always another one on the other side.
Where are the mandatory aids again, Jackson? I didn't see that when this got sent out.
So 28 and mile 65.
Okay.
They should note it and it should be slowed down. So mile 28 and then this should be 65. Yeah. So it shows us going off course to come back onto course. So
Okay.
should be able to follow the GPS to get into those sections and know that the GPS is probably right. This course probably doesn't have any glitches in it. I know when I make some routes, I pull off into some of those roads and have some turnarounds that have some glitches, but these ones follow them going to the aid station. I've missed aid stations at Flint Hills and other stuff just because they were slightly off the road and we were just going. But yeah, those are these two here that are called out in blue. This last one in blue is not a mandatory aid station, but if you pull up the course map when you guys get it, you'll be able to see that. But yeah, this is notes of all the climbs. I can send this out on Slack if there's interest to it, to give in just like text to give people a reminder of where things are so you can mentally go through it as you flip through the course. If there's interest, let me know, and I can send this over to you guys. And it shows where all the water and aids are. They did try to make everything within 10 miles, 10 to 15 miles, because they do understand it's going to be hot and they want everybody to be safe out there.
Dude, I think as far as kind of the pointy end of the race, like I feel like that's almost like even more of a factor, which is kind of my thought for carrying more water on me. Like, because I feel like, I mean, there's going to be guys that just like are absolutely forced to stop. And then there's going to be like, I mean, I'm pretty much planning on like having everything that I would need, like plenty of water and everything. That way it's like, I mean, I'll probably see if I can't get a sag at, and like get maybe a hydration pack swap at mile 65. But like, I mean, I think it's more conducive to like be overly prepared and try to like plan not to stop. Like even at the mandatory aids, like I mean, it's just the nature of gravel racing now. Like if you're wanting to like race it and place highly, like I think you got to be prepared to just take your, pipe clean or whatever, and hit the road.
Josh, did you have a question?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I was going to ask if there was more than one mandatory checkpoint, but you answered it.
Yeah. All right. Planning on being the front of the race, but I'm also, if I'm dying, mile 77, mile 90 are going to be in the back of my head of, okay, like I run out of water. There's extra water there. There's extra
Oh yeah,
supplies. But yeah, I'm bringing everything I can to be at the pointy end of the race from the start to the end without stopping.
where are you at in the gravel cup, Jackson?
I'm sixth.
Okay.
So a couple spots back. If you actually count, I'm seventh because the drop races do matter. And with the drop races, I'm currently seventh.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you are first and second. First, no drop races. Second, with drop races are correct.
I don't know.
I actually stayed fifth both ways. It didn't matter.
Oh, nice. That's perfect, Josh.
I don't know how it factors in with the drop races.
It's on the website. He has in the gray on the side, he has the score with the drop races.
Well,
Right on.
it shouldn't bother you, Michael. You haven't had a bad race yet.
Not yet.
But I'm planning on yeah, not yet.
You're planning on one?
Dude, we'll see about this heat, man. Saturday morning at the shuffle was at least a little bit of a morale boost that I don't just totally break down in the heat. But I don't know, dude. It's been an uncharacteristic spring and early summer so far.
Yeah.
But I mean, did you guys agree as far as like the aids? Like, what were your all's strategies?
I'll have my wife at the 65 miler more than likely, just in case I need something, like with spare parts and probably a couple, if nothing else, ice water to just dump on me.
Yep, yep.
Because
No,
that
I
makes a
think,
huge difference if you can soak yourself in cold water.
yep, yep. I'm gonna try to arrange the same.
Are you guys gonna have like ice socks prepped?
I will.
Probably at the beginning. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think the longer you can combat like getting hot and like kind of delaying that increase in core temp, the better.
So you're gonna put
It's
one
like,
in at the start of the race?
yeah, I'll probably have one at the start.
I
Okay.
will, yes. And my wife will have a cooler full of a few of them at that checkpoint. They've helped me out huge in marathon mountain bike races where you're coming in lap after lap, where you can get a fresh one.
Oh, dude, they're so huge. That's a good idea. I should, yeah, I'll keep that in mind for the 65 mile. Hey, Trevor, how's Jonathan Waite riding?
He
I
is
wouldn't
near
want to
him.
race him. That's all I gotta say.
What's that?
I wouldn't want to race him. He's pretty good this year.
Nice.
He won last year by a healthy couple 10-minute margin, something like that.
Yeah, it was
But it's
like
different
10 minutes.
competition.
Like Jonathan came in 10 minutes, then Charles came in another 10 minutes, then the guy from Tulsa, then another 10 minutes than me. It was about as hot as it was last year. So
Dude, I remember him from Flint Hills several years ago. He was wicked fast, dude.
Who's that you
Lincoln,
guys are talking about?
I don't know what teams does he race for, Trevor?
he races for the Lord. He'll wear a bikeway kit. It's like a yellow and blue kit.
It would take me a second to probably spot him in a crowd, especially on a new kit. But I'll see if maybe we can point
just
him out prior to the race. Because yeah, Josh, he'd
You'll
be
I would say you'll find him. He'll be riding away from us at some point. So
we'll see.
oh, stop, bro. We'll see.
Try to find a photo on his Strava because this is a race. That's a trail photo. Is this the kid he's gonna be
Oh,
wearing?
Something like that.
That's the blue. I've also seen photos of him in a gray kit like that.
Dude, absolutely smoking, dude.
Looks better than all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he's so fast. I don't think he I mean, I don't know. I don't know how often he trains, but it's crazy.
This is even maybe he's seventh and 10th in the series. 10th. But yeah. Watch out for him in that kit.
oh,
We'll see.
buddy.
Um, yeah. What else? I do believe that the aid stations, even though they're optional and mandatory, you can have support at all of them. So if that's something you're interested in, you don't have to just have support at the mandatory ones. But the notes that I've received so far, and please read the rule book for this, is that you can have support at any of the other ones. So if you want multiple support, you can make that work. Or you have 65 and you tell your wife, I'm struggling, go to 77, and you give her the pin already before the day. That might be a good option as well. Or go to 90 of just cold water, because if there's a group, it's going to kick off at 90 and it's going to kick off maybe with a sprint.
Anybody else got thoughts on the day generally? Dude, I'm pumped. There's nothing like a heater.
It's good to be back gravel racing. I enjoyed those 3 weeks of back to back to back. And now I'm excited to be back. Did we just get the course? I think I
think
just
so.
got a link to the course. So everybody has it now.
Um, yeah.
It's my birthday next weekend, so uh, last year I tried to get an ice cream cake, but then my car broke down, so I don't think I'm welcome at the Dairy Queen in Beatrice. So,
Oh my God.
yeah,
So is it? I heard the rumor that's called Beatrice, not Beatrice. Like
it is
it's spelled.
Beatrice. Yeah. Yep. So Nebraska has lots of towns like that. Papillion instead of Papillon or whatever, and then Prague instead of Prague, and all sorts of shit like that. So we're very civilized, very high society up here.
Just pronounce it the opposite of what you think it is.
Exactly.
Something draw on it, and you'll be close.
Wait, so as far as tire selection though, the Terra speeds are going to be okay.
Yeah,
I
probably.
had a moment of panic this morning.
You should definitely change as much as you can. As quick, like as close to the race as you can. So, yeah. Whatever I need to say to make you freak out.
Dude, yeah,
This hasn't been slow.
look at that rolling resistance, dude.
The 45.
The 45, baby.
You're losing 3
Well,
watts. So
dude,
I
for
was
sure.
going to say, if we compare Michael Allison and my FTPs, I don't know, 3 watts feels like a rounding error, especially at
I thought it was 3 watts
90
off.
kilos or whatever I am.
Dude, I'm gonna be carrying so much water though, that like I'm just gonna be like a bowling ball, like going down the course.
Now you know how I feel normally.
Yeah, like I wonder how they would feel if I just took the gravel cup jersey and just like made it sleeveless, you know?
Listen, I think you earned it, so you can do whatever you want with it.
I mean, this is like the Wild West and gravel racing, right?
For every race
Yeah,
that
I
you
think
win it at.
anything goes.
Well, anybody else got anything?
Who's all doing Rock Ridge?
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Jackson, you're going, right?
I think the only person who's
Tyler,
missing a
Jason.
major race is Owen. This one.
Oh,
Where's
Owen
he?
didn't sign up for this?
No.
He's not currently, and it's sold out.
Oh, shoot, dude.
I'll be
So
there too. I've never done the long course. I've done the shorter one there. It's nasty, rocky North course, unbound crap.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to. So the Terra Speed's not good.
Yeah. I did Rock Ridge last year and it was absolutely terrible. It rained the entire time.
Oh,
It,
Jesus.
it's probably the roughest course I've been on. It's just nat, and Bobby puts all kinds of stupid shit in that one.
Yeah, it was like 20 B roads. It rained and I walked for like 3 hours because I couldn't even push my bike. It was so muddy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I destroyed my entire bike on that
were you
race.
doing the day one or the night one?
The night one, I did the
Okay.
150. We left in a flood warning, like a flood watch. We were like in standing in water when we took off.
Yeah. How many people finished and Anderson won it. So that's terrible.
All right, y'all.
Yeah,
Have
Rock
we?
Ridge will be the hardest race of the whole series.
I mean, I was gonna say I wouldn't want to mess with Solstice in the heat, but that's just me. I guess I also haven't done Rock Ridge, but I'm sure we'll find out.
It it's kind of the magic of this whole series is Flint Hills was like a good opener. Open range rain road race. Like Mule Skinner was this super tactical, massive group. Like every race is very different. Very hilly for Mule Skinner. This is going to be hot and open. Rock Ridge is super rocky, and Pony is everybody's fitness is going to be different because it's 3 months later.
Yeah, pony's a lot of fun. It's kind of a mix of everything, really.
Yeah, kind of makes the series magical.
Magical.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
That's
yeah.
all I got.
Yeah. No, this is gonna be awesome. Looking forward to seeing y'all on Saturday.
Okay. I'm going to end the recording now. Unless anybody else has anything said, then we can end the call.
I have nothing valuable to